Hi, welcome back to Psych Alchemy, and today I wanted to make a short video on the martyr complex, how to identify it within yourself, or to better understand people in your life, and then how to avoid this pattern. So, when we talk about the martyr complex, we're not criticizing actual martyrs, but we're actually looking at a pattern of relating that stems usually from childhood and is just not helpful. So, the martyr complex is a psychological pattern. It's marked by self sacrifice and service to others at our own expense. So, self sacrifice and kindness to others is beautiful. When it starts to become an issue is when we're not actually taking care of ourselves or we're not able to meet our own needs due to the amount of self-sacrifice that we're doing. So that is not helpful. That is what that tends to lead to is a feeling of resentment and victimhood and towards others. So if you are a really kind and giving person, but you often feel very frustrated with others and feel very taken advantage of, there's a really high likelihood that you're doing some of this martyr complex because our needs we need to meet, other people do not. So with martyr complex, one of the challenges is they often pick people who can't even meet their own needs. That's why they actually help them because they have compassion and want to help. But then there's a bad taste left in our mouth because they're not giving back. Well, they can't meet their own needs. So how are they going to meet our needs? They can't identify their own needs, so how are they going to meet our needs? So this pattern is often unexamined. It just happens and we deeply believe it, but we do need to start challenging that if that's what we find for ourselves. So these martyr complex traits tend to lead to burnout and stress in our relationships. So if you find that you kind of reach a peak and then burn out in your relationship, um, there's a really good chance that that's what's happening. Because again, you're giving more than you can, because each of us have our limits, and then you're expecting the other person to kind of fill in what you give. And that's not reasonable, actually. Um, Oftentimes, people with this martyr complex find themselves often alone. Their relationships burn out, they end kind of abruptly, and they assume it's the other person, but it's actually their own psychological patterning. So, of course, there are parts of martyrdom that are really beautiful, like holding integrity for your beliefs, um, benefiting others. Those are beautiful. And what the martyr complex is really identifying is the kind of um, byproduct that can happen if we haven't healed appropriately. Or, for example, for some people, let's say in their family of origin, they were the peacekeeper, they were the one that cared for others. So that's part of what makes, when that is the case, that's what makes it so painful because we're kind of recreating and reliving a childhood where there was a lot missing. And so it becomes really important to kind of separate those things. I need to address whatever residual pain I have from childhood and really look at these patterns that I've learned, while still not completely rejecting this kind of uh, martyr approach to life because it can be quite beautiful knowing that we need to take care of ourselves. So, thank you.